Hello, this is the Captain Paxo with another Dark Souls 3 PvP session back in the ashes of Ariandel, and I'm here to talk about what I think of the DLC because, you know, everyone's got their own opinions on this DLC. Most of them are pretty standard. They're pretty much just like, oh, it's too short, which it is. It's really, really too short. I mean, there's only, I don't know how many weapons have been in average in DLCs in the past, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot more weapons in previous DLCs, and I'm talking about like just all weapons and spells and shields and all that sort of stuff, you know. I feel like there was just a lot more in previous games, previous titles, but there was also a lot more bosses in each of the DLCs, you know. You look at Dark Souls 1, there was like how many? Four bosses? And they were all very difficult. Like, they were all very new and unconventional in comparison to the base game. You know, they were all really fast, super aggressive, and badass, you know. But Dark Souls 3 is pretty much just more of the same super fast, combo-y bullshit that we've seen in the base game. Oh my god, look at that! Ah, why do people not animate still? Why is that still a thing? What? Look at him! I just fucking From Software, ladies and gentlemen. 2 boss DLC and players still not animating. And overpowered weapons that, you know, I'm okay with weapons being really powerful, but there has to be some sort of downside to them, you know. There has to be something that makes them not that great. Which, the follower saber, you know, it's like, I don't know. Oh my god. Walked into that. That makes me feel really stupid. Not happy with that. Fuck's sake. I saw it coming! A mile away. 2 miles. I didn't even need a pair of binoculars, you know? And this still happens. 4 people. 4 fucking people. Why? Why did they think that this was a good idea? You know? Dark Souls 3, co-op game of the year. Because it is, I mean, look at it. Remember when Dark Souls was about isolation and loneliness? And not knowing if you can make it through the game or the area or the boss or whatever. It's not anymore. You just get your 3 buddies in and train wreck the game, because at that point you don't even have to learn how to play, you know. But whatever. So the Ashes of Ariandel, it's short, like really short. There are new weapons, although I feel like there aren't as many new weapons as there have been in previous DLCs, but I can't really say too much about that because I don't have statistics. The bosses themselves, I don't like. I mean, what was he called? The Grave Warden or whatever? The guy with the Valor Heart. Like, that guy, he's cool with the wolf and, you know, being able to parry him and all of that sort of stuff. But I mean, the frame rate just goes to shit on that fight. Like, it is dreadful, especially on Xbox One. Like, on Xbox One you can barely play Thankfully I'm on PS4, but it's still bad on PS4. You know? And, I don't know, the fight, I'm sort of okay with it, but I'm sort of not really okay. Sit down, son. Sit down. I'm getting better with these parries, thank God. I don't know, I'm mixed on that boss. I'm kind of okay with the, no, I'm definitely okay with the guy, with the Valor Heart. He's kind of cool. I'm not really too okay with the wolf, though, because the ridiculous amount of particle effects, and like I said, the frame rate, it just makes for a pretty unpleasant experience, because you're having to fight the camera and the frame rate and not being able to see anything. You know, and whenever the frame rate goes to shit, inputs become a real issue, because it's just like, oh my god, Phantom Range is still a thing. Why? But it's okay, because we invade this guy again, and he disconnects. Well, I'm not sure if he disconnects or the internet just said nah, you know, because that's been happening a few times. Like, the internet just says no, not happening. But yeah, not too okay with the giant wolf, kind of okay with the Valor Heart guy. Freed and Ariandel, why is it a 3-stage fight? Like, why? Why do we have to fight 3 stages in one go? That just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just, it's stupid, you know? Like, 3 stages? That's a marathon sprint, you know? And I don't like Freed's bullshit grab, because if she goes invisible and you can't find her, which is quite easy to do if you're quite new to the fight, she can just grab you out of thin air. There's no consistent way of dodging it until you learn that whenever she goes invisible, she jumps behind you. And even then, she doesn't always jump behind you, because, I don't know, bullshit, you know? Oh, fuck's sake. But that boss fight can be a real pain in the ass, and like, the third stage is really, really cool, but the fact that you have to get through 2 stages prior to getting to that fight, it just makes you want to play defensively, because it's taking you so goddamn long to get there that you don't want to be there anymore. You know, you don't want to screw up the fight because you don't want to have to go through the 5-minute arduous fight before. You know, it's like having to do a mandatory 5-minute run back. You know, I'm getting flashbacks of doing the run back for the Forgotten King from Sultan Sanctuary. Holy shit, I hated that run back. You know? Took you 2 minutes with enemies that could one-shot you and mandatory full damage. Like, fuck that, especially on a no healing run. Like, how stupid is that design? And it feels like the same thing with this boss. You know, it's like you have to go through 2 bosses in order to fight this one. It's boss rush, that's what it is. It's just boss rush. And I don't like it. I don't mind 2-stage fights, because that's been around in Souls for quite a while, you know? Since at least Dark Souls. I'm not too sure about Demon Souls. Maybe Demon Souls. With like the, what are they called? The Man-Eaters? Those guys? I think they were 2-stage. But 3-stage? Really? You're pushing the boundaries of what we define as fair. Like, are we gonna start accepting 3-stage fights? I don't want to. You know? Because it's like, it takes so long. It's like trying to fight the Asylum Demon with your bare fist. It takes so long, I just don't want to do it. You know? And at least with Asylum Demon, you can actually consistently dodge a lot of the attacks. But in Dark Souls 3 being Dark Souls 3, it can be really difficult to consistently dodge attacks because a lot of the moves look very similar and they all have slightly different timings. And Freed has a tendency to do questionable combos that really have questionable range and a ton of speed and hyper armor and everything that you could ever want, you know? So I'm not a fan of that fight either. I've done it twice now, or I've beaten her twice, and twice I did it with a friend because I didn't want to do it by myself because I just didn't like it, you know? I'll do any boss fight in this game by myself, bar Freed, because she's bullshit, you know? I'm not doing a 3-stage fight by myself. That's just, I don't want to, you know? Maybe I'm just lazy, maybe I'm just a bad player and I need to get better, but I really don't think that a 3-stage fight is something that is acceptable. Like, I don't know. I'm getting off a bit on that. The enemies in this area, they're quite cool. I quite like the wolves. They're very interesting. I don't like the area with the 3 crabs. It takes some very precise aggroing, which can easily be fucked up. But once you get it down, it's not too bad, I guess. So as far as like enemies go, the Corvian Knights are pretty badass. They can be pretty challenging as well. So as far as the areas go, it's actually quite cool. But the bosses are done so bad. Like, I really disagree with the bosses in this DLC. And also, maybe some of the weapons, you know. Follower's Saber is ridiculous, and Freed Scythe is pretty ridiculous. Like, yes, I said, like, I want more OP shit, but I don't know. I'm kind of okay with them, I'm kind of not too okay with them. I think if Freed Scythe required or used FP to do a combo, like every other weapon art in the fucking game, you know, why would you have this rule and then just ignore the rule? It doesn't make much sense to me, but you know. And maybe the Follower's Saber could do a little bit less damage because the weapon art is ridiculous, you know. Like, just ridiculous. But anyway, that's pretty much my thoughts on the Ashes of Ariandel. Like, the areas are kind of cool, the bosses are dog shit, and the weapons, some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are stupid. And basically it's just more Dark Souls, you know? If you want more Dark Souls, then hooray! If you wanted something new, then, well, you're not really gonna get it because there isn't really much all that new. I got the DLC mostly for the weapons, and the weapons, they're alright, but the Quakestone Hammer is just a large club. The Follower's Saber is just a more OP Carthus Curved Sword, which is gonna piss off a lot of people. Freed Scythe is a ridiculous scythe that just destroys everyone. Unless you roll away, you bait the combo, you roll away, and you throw daggers in their face, because what can they do? And every other weapon is pretty standard stuff, you know? So, you decide if you want to get it or not. I did, and I don't know. I'm borderline okay with it, which generally with Souls DLC, I'm like all for it. Hooray, I got it, it's brilliant. This one, not so much. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.